Right, we are back on the Suffolk Crunch. I've just done the Town Wrexham look back. So if you haven't caught that live, go and watch it, get involved in the comments. This is now Australia versus England, first test review from Perth. I didn't think I'd be doing it after 2 days, but England unfortunately slipped to a 8-wicket defeat in Perth in spectacular fashion this morning. I woke up, drove to work. We were 50 odd for one. We were 99 in the lead at lunchtime. I thought, yeah, lovely little morning, working away, TMS on. And within about 20 minutes after lunch, it all absolutely fell apart. Anyway, if you're watching live, get involved in the chat. We will go for 50 likes on this. Please hit subscribe if you're new here, if you like cricket, or if you like football. If you're just a sports fan, get involved. And also share with your mates. We are sponsored by the Bad Shirt Club here at the Suffolk Crunch. So head over to the website for all your Christmas bucket hats, jackets, shirts, and use the code TSC30 at the checkout. Anyway, right, let's go back to Friday morning, and we all got up with hope. I set my alarm. I was up about 2:05. Cup of tea. Bit of toast, got in just before the anthems. England had won the toss. They'd elected to bat first, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. I think under Stokes, normally we like to chase, but they were on about the wicket could maybe crack a little bit later in the game. We never got there. England first innings, bowled out in 32.5 overs for 172. Obviously, Zach Crawley had a tough test. He got a pair, Duckett 21, Pope 46, Joe Root struggled in the game, just the 8 runs. He was out for a blob. Mitchell Starc cleaned up, then he got 7. While Brook and Smith were going, it looked as though we could get a decent total. We were 164.5 within about 3.5 overs. It's actually 2.5 overs. We lost 5 for 12, and we were skittled for 172. And it was one of them days, one of them mornings when I thought, here we go again. You know, I've been getting up since, I think, 1990, watching England down under without a great deal of success. And then a lot of times regretting actually staying up through the night. And I was thinking, do I go back to bed or do I sit it out? I'm glad I sat it out, because by the end of the day, Australia were 9 down. Ben Stokes had taken 5. Jofra Archer looked mustard with a new ball. Atkinson was making Smith and Labuschagne really, really struggle. And then Bryden Cast came on, and we cleaned them up this morning. 1-3-2 all out in 45.2 overs. Archer 2 for 11. Atkinson 0 for 24 off 12. He bowled really well. Mark Wood, he was bowling rapid, 150 clicks. Bryden Cast 3 for 45, including Steve Smith. Ben Stokes 6 overs. 5 for 23, and we all thought, didn't we? 40 runs, lead. It's looking good. If we can just bat half sensibly for probably most of the day, the way that we score, we would be pretty much, I'm not saying out of sight, but I think we'd have had a really good chance of winning this test match. And at lunchtime, we were 50 odd for one. 65 for one shortly after lunch when Duckett was out, and then literally half an hour, I think, has cost us this test match. Pope, Brook and Root all going within the space of an over. Pope and Brook in the same over. And then Root was dragging on to Mitchell Starc. 88 for 6 when Stokes went. Smith, bit of a controversial decision with him. Did he hit it? Did he not? It's one of them ones. I think Labuschagne yesterday might have got away with one for Australia. There was a little murmur on Snicko. And, then the tail wagged. Gus Atkinson and Bryden Cast. 37 for Atkinson, top scorer. 20 for Cast. Aussies lost the plot a little bit, started bowling short, putting men out. And England were bowled out in 34.4 overs. So 34.4 overs in the second innings. 32.5, so about 67 overs combined. Aussies needed 205 to win, so second innings for them. Mitchell Starc 3, so 10 in the match for him. Scott Boland, who we absolutely climbed into. First innings, didn't really look a threat. He took 4. Brendan Doggett on debut, 3 for 51. So 5 in the match for him. And it left Australia 205 to win, by all accounts. Michael Vaughan made England favourites. It was obviously the high score that was required to win the Test match in the match. Usman Khawaja obviously didn't open in the first innings for the Aussies because he was off the ground for a little bit with some back spasms. So he obviously had to wait a certain amount of time before he could come on the field. And then obviously Weatherald opened. He was out second ball in the first innings. And then obviously Steve Smith had to come in at 3 and then Khawaja at 4. But he's obviously off the field again. Travis Head, he stepped up to the plate for Aussies. He said to him that he'd open and he played an absolutely match-winning innings. And for me, probably should have got man of the match. I know Stark got it for his 10 wickets. But Travis Head, 123 in 83 balls, 16 fours, 4 sixes. Second fastest Ashes 100 for Australia behind Adam Gilchrist, which was at Perth, but over the river at the Wacker. And they just literally took the game away from England. Labuschagne 51 not out. Weatherall got 23, 205 for 2 in 28.2 overs. The Bazballers were out Bazballed by Australia. They literally took the game by the scruff of the neck and literally run all over England in 2 days. It's a painful defeat. It's one where I said that we really need to be getting a result in this first test with no Cummins playing and Hazelwood. Cummins looks like he'll be fit for the second test. He was in the dugout today. He was smiling away. I'm thinking you probably are because you've literally you've been bowling a little bit in the nets. You've had your feet up. You're going to come back and it's 1-0 to Australia. Do you think Head is the best cricketer in the world in the last 3 years? He's great at all forms. White ball, Test cricket. He had a bit of luck today. You know, on another occasion, he might have plonked one up in the air. I'm not going to blame the bowlers because they did bowl a bit too short and sort of telegraphed where they were going to bowl, and Head was stepping away and carving it to all parts of the Optus. But you can't just keep expecting your bowlers to dig you out of it. The first innings that England bowled Australia out for 132 is some of the best bowling I've seen from an England attack in years. We were on the money, we were aggressive, we were obviously fast, and they wanted to hit them with pace. And we'd done everything that we said we were going to do, you know, and we got ourselves back into the game. We got ourselves in a really good position when you're 107 in the lead with 9 wickets left. And then you lose 9 in the afternoon session for, what was it? 9 for 99. I mean, it's unbelievable. 9 for 99 in what? Just under 19 overs. I mean, unacceptable. And I know they say this is how we play and all this. And I love Bazball and I love how we approach the game. You know, it's not boring. But I think sometimes we haven't learned from our mistakes from the last Ashes where at Lords, Nathan Lyon was off the field. I think we were 180 off for 1 first innings. We were bowled out within another 24 overs. Last summer against India, 300 for 3. We need 70 to win. We need 39, I think, on that last morning with 5 wickets. And we keep making these mistakes until we've got a talented bunch of cricketers, no doubt. But until we cut out these mistakes, you are not going to win a series. And you're not going to win in Australia from 1-0 down. I would be absolutely amazed now. I'm not writing them off totally because this team have done some fantastic things, and Stokes and McCullum, you know, they'll get hold of the group and hopefully they'll come bouncing back. But it's a massive ask, I think, psychologically, to not to just lose, because in sport you're going to lose. I think it's the way that we've lost this. You know, it's a really punishing defeat from being, I think it was like they were saying, about 1:05 Australian time. We were well on top, 107 in the lead, and by 5:40 their time, the game's over. Shavik McNally says, England thought they had it in the bag after the first innings. Too much overpraise for the media game and a touch of naivety. I don't think they thought they had it in the bag. I don't agree with that. They just got sloppy, played some really poor shots, driving on the up. I I mean, Ollie Pope, Brook, third ball, Joe Root, get yourself in, lads. You know, all they had to do is nail that second session. The way we score, we're going to score probably 100 runs. We're probably going to be 200 in the lead come tea time. They might be 3-4 down, but with what we've got down the order, you know, we would have been well on the way for setting them 300 plus to win. We've got a little bit Mitchell Stark or Shaheen Shahafridi in the chat. I'd say Mitchell Stark. And they just got sloppy. I mean, Crawley now, look, they built him up for this series. He's on a pair. He's going into the next test. He's under massive pressure. Phil says, hi, Rich. Well, what a disappointment that was. Hard to know where to start. The usual awful batting. What annoys me is it seems to be the same players making the same mistakes time after time. Harry Brook, I love Harry Brook, but he slack dismissal third ball. Stokes, he's Mitchell Stark's bunny. He got him out twice in the match. I thought Jamie Smith batted quite well. TNT's coverage, Trevor, was absolutely shite. I was watching on Fox because I've got the Fire Stick. I was watching the Fox feed. So Vaughan was on there, Gilchrist, Brett Lee, all of them. Brilliant coverage. TNT commentating from a box in London. Not for me. But they paid to have it and Sky didn't. So Sky put a lot of money into cricket. I'm surprised they didn't want to cover this. Craig says, Crawley plays like he's undroppable. Maybe he's in McCullum and Stokes' eyes. I think now, right, they've obviously stuck with him from when they've come in, you know, and he'll have a good innings now and again. If he comes off 3 innings in 10 in this series, I think he's doing well. Well, he's got 8 innings left because he's failed in 2. It's like, for me, this is the end of this team. If they lose the Ashes, I think there'll be some changes, and I think Crawley will be one of them to go, you know, because it'll be another cycle up to the 27 Ashes. I know we play other teams. Maybe we shouldn't just build up the Ashes, but we do. We all build the Ashes up because we love it, you know. So this will be the end for this team for certain players if we go down, you know. Then I've heard they've obviously got there's a Lions game now, a pink ball 2-day game because obviously the next test is in Brisbane, day-nighter, pink ball. At this time, no England players are being planned to play in that game, which I find absolutely amazing. You know, it's a 2-day game. They've obviously got a lot of time between now and Brisbane. I think they've got 11 days. What cricket are they actually going to be playing? You know, why don't they just play in that 2-day game, get a bit of practice under the lights, get a bit of practice with the pink ball, batsmen and bowlers. But it's as if they have to be, they said, I was listening to Ben Stokes going to the Town game today, and it's like, basically they've set it out how they mapped it out, what they want to do. And it's as if they can't change. You know, I don't know if they don't want to change. Maybe they don't want to change. They don't want to be seen to be changing. But I think sometimes things have got to be, you've got to be quite flexible. So if they get rolled in Brisbane, I think they'll come in for a lot of criticism. I really do. And if they get rolled in Brisbane, this could be another 4 or 5-0. I'm really hoping it isn't. You know, Mitchell starts at 10 in this match. He's an absolute genius with a pink ball. He swings it round corners. It's going to swing under the lights. So it's going to be backs to the walls for England. But it's a 2-day test. All records are out the window. The amount of overs that we faced, the shortest since 1904. It was just, I was listening to all the stats on the radio, and great catch by Mitchell Stark, Trevor. Yeah, I agree with that. But look, disappointing. We were all high yesterday morning when we'd fought back, and we thought, yeah, we've got them here. Half an hour sloppy cricket has cost England this game, in my opinion. We were doing really well. We're in a really good position with the bat. We got blown away in the afternoon session. 200, yeah, it was probably something to defend on that wicket, but I thought it was obviously, you need 2 partnerships, you know, and Head played an amazing innings, and you have to give him credit. You know, at the top of the order, it'll be interesting where he bats the next test. I think this is probably the end of Khawaja this series. He's obviously got some injury problems, so do they move him aside and bring in maybe a Webster comes in the middle order, give him a few overs? But Aussies underdone, really, you know, with 2 bowlers down. They've still got the job done, you know. England backs to the wall now, 1-0 down. Go to Brisbane, 4th of December. That starts. I think I've got a couple of days off. I've booked that off, so I'm going to sit up. I think that starts 4:30 in the morning. So decent time as you're waking up in the UK to watch it. But yeah, TNT not great coverage. Test match special, brilliant as usual. You know, listen to that, and I'll be listening tomorrow to the fallout from all the cricket pods that I listen to. But yeah, we just got to see what happens in Brisbane. But cheers for watching. Like I say, 50 likes please on this video. If you're a cricket fan, share it with your mates. Ipswich Wrexham, if you're a Town fan, that is available to watch now on the channel. That is out, so go and check that out. But that's me done. Disappointing in Perth. Australia win by 8 wickets, and we will see you on the next one. See you later.